Hello and welcome back to the Metropole Grid. My name is Andre.
And I'm Patrick One Take Sklar.
Hey, and this is BD Cosmos Summer Kit 2. Hey, Patrick.
There I am, just staring at the camera.
Excellent. So, on the right side, we have Patrick right here, and on the left side, that's me.
Wow.
We're playing against each other.
This must be very difficult for one or both of us.
Yeah, this is always an exciting thing to happen. This is the third and actually kind of surprisingly last round of
Right.
this summer kit.
It wasn't a huge turnout.
No, it wasn't. I think it was maybe 7 players perhaps.
It was odd because someone got a buy.
Yeah, and having a buy in a three round thing kind of is not the best.
No.
But this is the same matchup in terms of identities that we saw at the beginning.
Right? I'm playing as Scott Walker,
Yeah.
or Armand Geist Walker.
Yeah.
Same thing that Scott was playing as earlier.
Right, and I'm still doing what I was doing a couple hours prior, which I'm playing Chronos Protocol. And this is what I learned from the first match of the day, a really rough matchup.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of
You learned a lot of important and difficult lessons throughout the whole day.
yeah, I did. So Geist probably is running the break and enter suite, all of these redundant copies of icebreakers,
That's right.
and I am running a deck which capitalizes on trashing the runner's icebreakers, getting them to a point where they are locked out of servers.
Right. You're spending a lot of effort trashing icebreakers that I was going to trash myself anyway.
Yeah, so it's a bit of a rough matchup, but we'll see how things go. I make an effort of letting Patrick know that I enjoy cutting people's decks. I never make a stink about it, but I like when people offer to allow me to cut their deck. I think you have
Oh,
to.
that's right, yeah.
Yeah, so there might be a lot. There might be a lot of enthusiastic deck cutting through this. All right, I got Chronos Protocol. I think I'm gonna keep my hand.
Right, I'm mulliganing.
So we are going to try and highlight the differences between your deck that you're playing now and the way that Scott had built his
Sure.
dice deck, because there are some very important differences.
Yep, yeah, there are quite a few.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to take some of Scott's ideas and incorporate them into how I play with my Geist deck.
Right.
But we
So
will talk about the differences, of course.
yeah, they'll come up when they come up. Looks like I'm going to be drawing and then putting 2 ice down. One of those ice was a data mine. I
Right.
think the other is Cortex Lock. Cortex Lock is something you cannot face check or things will be very bad.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah,
Never happened to me, though.
No, I hope it never does. Uh, so one of the things that I see the difference already between yours and Scott's is that you are playing Underworld Contacts, which if you have 2 link, which is the goal of Geist anyways most of
Right.
the time.
Makes his break and enter suite a lot more efficient.
Yeah, you will have a credit coming in at the beginning of your turn. Now, this means 2 things to me from a distance. This firstly means that you're probably not going to be floating tags, considering you're
Right.
taking time and money building in resources, and that your deck probably is not a rush deck.
Right, it's not a very fast deck. I would be okay if the game went long,
Yeah.
considering the Underworld contacts.
Right, and maybe, I don't know, maybe this says that your game is not good when it goes long, and this is how you balance it. I'm not sure. But it's still going to be rough. It looks like I'm going to make a remote there. I do have a House of Knives in hand, which I could throw out into that remote, but I am unsure whether or not you can inside job into that remote and take it.
Right, which I think is another difference between mine and Scott's. I don't have Inside Job
Really?
in this Geist deck. Nope.
Why'd you make that decision?
Looking back at it now, I don't know why I made that decision. It does serve as a good second copy of any of the other breaking and entering cards.
Yeah.
In a way.
No, it's such a strong criminal card. I always put at least 1 in just to surprise somebody, I guess.
I think it's because most of my runs, I'm assuming I can get in, and I would rather put the money towards and the runs towards multi-access.
Right.
As we'll see later.
Cool. Yeah, so your deck is running a lot of multi-access.
Right.
You do have 2 breakers out. One of them is the Fractor, one of them the Decoder. The way the break and enter suite work is their strength is proportional to how many icebreakers there are installed.
Right.
So 2 strength ice is what you can do right now.
Not much so far.
Yeah, so that's not a lot. If you hit a Merlin, I am running Grail Ice, by the way. If you hit a Merlin, that's really good. A Lancelot, you can break.
Well, if I had a shift.
Yeah, oh, you
if
need a
only I
shift.
had a
Yeah,
shift.
if you have a shift, right. So it looks like another ice is gonna stop the inside job play, and I'm gonna throw something in that remote. It
And- yeah.
looks like it's probably an agenda.
And you trashed what I assume was a trap, probably a shock.
Yeah, I think shock is almost definitely what it is. Shock is really great. If once you trash it, it's better off in the archives, and that
Mm,
is a House of Knives, which is a huge agenda in Chronos
right?
Protocol.
It's a really, really solid pick.
Right.
Very scary. Every run, you could make me lose something from my hand, and
Yep. And the best thing is against Geist in particular is that if Geist trashes his breakers or uses any trash ability during a run, he'll be drawing cards.
that's right. You get the best possible pick
Yeah.
of cards by the time you play your House of Knives token.
So it looks like you're going to be special ordering something and special ordering for an Overmind. This is a really big difference, I think, between your decks and Scott's.
Right.
And I think the Overmind include is really cool.
Thank you.
That's the problem I think I've found with Geist is that early game, you need to find all these pieces and you have to install a lot of them before you can actually threaten a server in a
Yep.
real reasonable way. Overmind gets as many power counters as there is unused MU. And with the Dyson mem chip,
I'm always going to have a lot of free MU.
yeah, a lot of free MU, which is great and allows you to do some really strong runs, especially runs like Count Siphon.
Right.
Or,
A lot of face checking too,
yep. So you do hit a data mine.
which I could break if I wanted to with the
Yep.
Overmind.
Which you could, which is that's the only problem is if you do break it, it won't get trashed, so you have to continue to break it.
Right.
I do see your hand, 2 siphons. I'm only capable of taking one of them away. I could have some knives in theory and hope for the next one,
Mm-hmm.
but looks like we're gonna have an access and a targeted marketing.
Which is a good include. I like that include in Chronos
You know what?
Protocol.
It's
All right, it's theoretically a great include.
theoretically it's really good, but I didn't either. My deck didn't, or the way that I played did not capitalize on it aggressively enough that I felt like it was that useful.
Right.
That being said, it's only one influence, which is okay. Looks like I'm gonna patch up that weakness. I know that Count Siphon is probably coming.
I
There's
can guarantee you
yeah.
that account siphon is coming.
And that's the beauty of the Overmind is that there's no piece of ice that will actually keep you out. Even
Right.
a Turing, worst comes to worst, you can click through.
Yep.
Uh,
Or
I'm-
I can crowbar through.
oh
I mean,
yeah,
once I get to that
totally,
point,
yeah,
of
you can
course.
just crowbar through. That is just an Eli, which is taxing enough for the Overmind. You are gonna pay through it and do the full siphon. I'm down onto 2 credits
Yep.
with 3 pieces of unres dice, something in that remote.
I'm very happy about that.
Yep, that's really, really bad. If you do get a same old thing,
Yep.
you can just keep coming at it. You do also, I saw in hand, you do have a crash space, which is
Right.
indicating that you probably are going to be playing a lot of siphons.
Yep. And I've just played the crash space, then cleared a tag, which is kind of even on credits. And the next time I clear a tag with it,
Yep.
even better.
It gets even better. So there's a Jackson in the remote. Looks like I'm going to be drawing up a bit, dumping stuff out of my hands. I do have agendas in hand. I think I want to get rid of those. That Eli is not something that you can check through regularly.
Right.
So you play a Fall Guy?
I play a Fall Guy like it's a green level clearance.
Yeah, Fall Guy's cool in Geist. For 1 click, you can draw a card and take 2 credits.
Yep.
I've been playing a bit of Geist, and I actually tried out some Cortez chips, which is like a reverse green level clearance for the for the corp.
That's
You
right.
install, you draw a card, and the corp can choose to lose 2 credits,
Or just let you in someplace.
or
which,
just let you in, which is not too bad. I found it to be good in econ denial decks, but
course, yeah.
might not be an auto include for sure. As much as I actually don't like that word. I am forgetting to use the House of Knives. And I know there is Maker's Eye in your hand.
That's right.
And I probably do want to get rid of that. So I should remember. That card is one of those things that you really have to constantly be thinking about during every run.
Yep. And the problem with the agendas is once you score them, they're kind of out of the way.
Yeah, out of
You're not
mind.
looking at them all the time. You do forget that you have this powerful ability
Yeah.
just waiting to be triggered.
And that's just practice. It's just like Desperado. You just have to remember. Just good practice, I guess, gets you that. And that is another siphon.
Yep. You generously brought yourself up to 5 credits.
Yeah, that's a problem. I knew it was coming too. Now, the only problem with trashing a legwork is that it kind of advertises as if I have something in hand,
Right. That's some good good mind games there.
which
I like that.
I might not want to do. The Maker's Eye is and also a good thing to trash. Even the same old thing is probably decent trash because that's another siphon, and I do not have a strong economy.
That's right.
I have a problem whenever I'm building a deck that has Grail Ice or any interesting multi-card combos, is that I'll almost never put in Celebrity Gift.
Right, and I have the same problem with any Jinteki deck. As much as
Yeah,
I love Celebrity Gift as a piece of design and as a card in Netrunner, I don't like playing it. I don't want to show all the snares and stuff in my hand. I don't want to
yeah.
show the combo pieces that I've been waiting for.
I agree. In retrospect, I wish I did put it in this deck.
Yep.
I think once you know I have Grail Ice, once you just see one piece of Grail Ice, there's not that much of a surprise anymore.
Hmm.
So maybe worth playing. You did find a Marcus Batty in that server with
Marcus Batty is so deadly to me
yeah.
as Geist. If you combo that with a Cortex Lock at the right time, that would ruin me.
Yeah, it does a lot of damage considering most of your MU is unused with all those breakers floating up in the cloud.
Yep.
So that's a good trash. I think I have a couple more in this deck. I'm not sure whether I have Caprices as well. I might not. I don't think I have the money to. And that's the problem right now is I don't have a lot of ways to get money. Besides, I think I have 2 or 3 Melange campaigns.
Oh, good.
Except
I
those
like that.
require ice. And I need money to res ice. So this is the cyclical problem of the
Yes.
siphon lock. A legwork is gonna come through. You're gonna I think you broke that, Eli?
Yeah, I think I used the last tokens from Overmind.
And you get 3 cards on access. One of them is the medical breakthrough. Not the worst agenda to lose early.
It's an agenda you don't mind losing early.
Yep.
And I see my first Grail Ice, I think.
Yeah, that's the first Grail Ice. So now you have an idea of what's happening.
Right. Although I already suspected it, because like I told you earlier, I think you build this deck in a very similar way to the way I would have built this deck as well.
Right.
I feel like Grail is a really strong way to go with this deck, and Rig Denial, of course.
Yeah. I think that's a pup up there on HQ. It won't for sure keep you up, but it'll at least make that taxing.
Right.
Pup into an Eli is a reasonably taxing server.
Yeah.
As much as you can just take 2 net damage.
Very low investment for a lot of taxation overall.
Yeah, that's Jinteki Ice I found is really good at that for a lot of the time. With 3 credits, I don't know. You could probably just hammer on R&D. There is some ice, I guess. Without a killer, there is some ice that would be really scary.
Yep.
I think you might have played the same old thing off camera. I'm probably gonna bother you to fix that in a bit, knowing how I am. So I'm gonna take 5 credits, up to 5 credits, I mean, and then play that targeted marketing on the siphon, because I
Sure.
know for sure if I don't do that, you are gonna go ahead and take my money.
Yep.
This, however, does just encourage you to find an agenda, which is the way that you win Netrunner.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
I checked the rulebook the other day, and it did say find agendas.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe I would rather distract you on the finance game. You're going to throw out another Underworld context. I cannot compete with 2 clickless credits a turn.
Right. And even though you've targeted marketing the account siphon, 3 of them are in the trash. I
Yes.
can only same old thing them now.
Right. I have no doubt, too, that you are playing Levy AR Lab Access.
Of course.
I think it's would be kind of nuts not to in such a deck.
Right. Until criminals get the recursion that they will never ever get.
Yeah, they I don't think they should get it.
No, of course. I don't think it's a good design decision to keep it to Anarchs and Shapers for sure.
So I think the second card off camera is enough to make me ask you to fix that.
Right.
2 same old things, so that could be
Welcome back to
legwork.
the Neat Freak Grid, starring Andrej.
And Crescentus does come out. So now, even if I do have the 6 credits to res a Merlin, it will be immediately deresed, and I will just be 6 credit out of 6 credits.
Right. That will be
Which
great.
is so much, and I know you're not going to use that on anything less than like 4 credits, maybe.
Probably not, unless you're really, really in the dumps.
Yeah. So that is a rough card. Gives you a card draw too in Geist.
Yep.
Pretty good. And I am kind of backed up into the corner now. We haven't seen many agendas. I have been lucky enough to get rid of a couple of those with Jackson Howard.
Right, you're able to toss away a Philotic, I think, at least.
Yeah, I did draw an early Philotic. There is another House of Knives, which is
And a Future Perfect. I
pretty
think I
low
see.
risk. Yeah? Okay, I might have binned it right there. With the Shocks and Archives, I actually don't mind throwing Future Perfects into Archives.
No, because they're not guaranteed to go on the first attempt.
Yeah.
And each time I go, I'm just going to get hurt.
So another Overmind refreshes. This is the time where we have to do the math.
It gets a little bit less counters on it because of Crescentus.
Yeah.
That is taking up actual MU this time.
Yeah. Is there any way? What could you install it on? Jin, maybe, if you didn't want to.
Well, even Jin would take up its own kind of
Yeah,
space.
but just right. Another Crescentus. That's the right order to install them, I
Yep.
suppose. And now with two Crescentises, the amount of damage you can do to me, and imagine a Cortez chip, huh?
Yeah, imagine what a
Huh?
Cortex chip. You're absolutely right.
But
I
you can
should have
do
put Cortex chip in.
can do a lot of damage with that, and I've just been clicking four credits. I mean, for the last couple
And
turns.
I've been letting you while I dig for my, I guess, shivs,
Yeah,
other crowbars maybe,
the fact that you haven't found a killer is kind of strange.
because I really don't want to see a Cortex lock. Even though I could get through it with my money and my overmind,
Yeah, it would be
I just
four
don't like that.
credits and a counter, which is a lot. A third piece of ice on that server. It's gonna put me a bit back on credits, but I've been slowly crediting up. And we are doing the first run on R&D and the Maker's Eye nonetheless.
Hmm.
There we go. That is the
That's the
Cortex
Cortex
lock.
lock, of course.
And with no killer, it will be just four credits.
And a token. I'll
And you
trash
get
that
a
melange.
melange.
I'll
And
trash that melange. I'm sitting right next to you and watching your face just twist in agony.
those might be the only two melanges, if not three melanges. And the fact that you got both of them is a problem. Otherwise, next turn they would have gone right in their remote.
Yep.
And we would have been playing a game of Netrunner. Um, I think I forgot to use the token. I think I wanted to, but that's okay. The way that you are posturing your cards around, it looks like we do have the full suite now.
There we go. I'm feeling a lot more confident here now.
Yep. Those are now all 5 strength each. Yep.
Yeah, they are.
So you can get through that Cortex lock for very cheap. Another piece of ice goes out on R&D.
And now that I have the full breaking and entering suite, I'm going to be drawing a lot more efficiently. Because I'm going to be making more runs. My runs will draw me cards.
This is the guy's mid game that I really like. Is once you get set up, you can draw hard. I think you're gonna same old thing, a legwork.
Yeah, that's what it
Which
looks like.
no agendas have been seen in a while. That's pretty smart.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, you bet. Pop up window.
Oh, there we go. You remembered.
Oh, hey, let's do it. Ooh, yep.
Yep.
Don't want
Also, I believe you mean pop-up window.
Sorry. Oh,
said-
sorry. Yeah. I see what you did.
Thank you.
Yeah. Two neural EMPs and
Scary.
a Merlin. Scary, that's for sure. You can't go less than one card, but actually you kind of can with Geist.
Because
Geist
I can instant install something with clone chip if
Yep.
I feel like that's going to happen.
Geist is pretty good at dodging damage. He's kind of hard to kill in a lot of ways.
That's what I found. A lot of decks have trouble killing me. A game I played earlier this day was against Argus, and they had a lot of trouble.
So I don't know if you see up there, but I have actually 2 agendas in there, and you
Right.
touched all cards besides the agendas.
That's the luck of the Patrick-ish
Yep.
right there.
So the House of Knives is going into that server. Based on that legwork, you might not think that it is an agenda. So maybe you don't
Right.
run. I don't know. I like that when they don't see the card, because now they have no more information.
But I'm also pretty sure I could get... Oh, there we
yeah,
go.
well, that's another way to do it.
That's another way to do it.
So the Maker's Eye, I'm gonna red the Yagura for 1 credit. Nothing is gonna get Crescentis at these low stakes. You could break it and draw a card. You could break it for 2 counters, which seems not good, but you're just gonna draw a card. You have no more decoders.
Right?
And
Then I'll shiv that Cortex lock.
2 cards in hand. Do I use the counter? You bet I do. I'm gonna get better at this as the game goes on.
Clone chip's a good choice
Clone
there.
Chip is always a good choice. You access 3 cards.
Another Yagura.
And the second medical breakthrough takes you to
Scary
4
for me
points.
too.
Yep, pretty scary.
I don't like to see 2 medical breakthroughs on the table.
No, now I have a 2 for 2, which is pretty good. That is lost. Oh, good. You did remember.
All right, I
that.
ruined the current.
Yeah. No, that's pretty good. Zero cost current, I think, is one of the reasons why I like targeted marketing a lot.
I do think it's really solid. I like that card a lot.
I'm excited for the new NBN stuff. That current identity, I think, is going to be really fun. I'm going to play some weird decks with it. It's going to be great.
We've been waiting for Data and Destiny for too long now.
Yeah.
Too long.
I don't know. I think it's out currently when we're recording this. It might be out in America. Canada, we're a bit behind usually. Not sure, but we'll be seeing it soon. Right. It's going to be exciting. I'm hoping that you're going to forget about that remote. There is an agenda in there. I do have the money to score it. I know the top of R&D is good for at least 1 turn, so that is a House of Knives. 3 more counters. We are going to play that game of attrition.
Right. But maybe I'm counting on you forgetting to use those counters. Who knows?
It is a strategy. If you can put your Crescentis slightly on top of my agenda, I will forget it's there.
Right. I can just fold my sheet, my playmat over it.
I don't think the rules forbid you from doing that.
There's nothing in the rules that say a playmat can't cover a House of Knives.
Yeah. I do like those fire tokens. Those will help a bit.
Or I thought they were leaves.
Oh, really?
They look like leaves from a Pokemon card game. And
Leaf
I'm not
tech.
just trying to
I bought
infantilize
those
your
with
okay.
my money.
I'm sorry.
No, I like this a lot.
Thank you for inviting me onto this video cast.
We have another clone chip, another killer, and
Ooh,
another decoder. Just as quickly as you tore down your rig, a new rig is set up
it feels very good to be watching this right now
to see how your
from the
things
couch.
work.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot how well this game went for me.
No, it's going pretty well. I think I might have 3 neural EMPs in hand,
Okay,
which is it's scary. But again, with 2 clone chips, I cannot threaten a kill. Even if you have no cards in hand, no, I can do it with no cards in hand. But you're not going to end a turn with no cards in hand.
no, that would be
That would be
that would be very
ridiculous.
strange for me to do.
Yeah. So I don't know what to do. Are they worth throwing out? I don't know, because you have the same old thing on the table. And I know if there's a Levi, even if I trash it, it's not going to matter too much.
Right?
I need to have a way to trash resources in this deck. That's what I figured out. I need a way to do that. The third
The third underworld,
Underworld
contact. This is
Contact.
me really expecting the game to go long, even though I'm at 4 points.
But you know what?
I might as well.
Yeah, 3 credits a turn is nuts.
If only Grail, maybe they'll come up with other Grail ice that does tags.
You know what? I would be kind of happy with that.
Yeah.
There's more characters in the King Arthur.
Yeah, you've
Same
got
as a lady.
Guinevere.
Guinevere.
You've got Sir Gawain,
Okay.
or Gawain, depending on what my English professor yells at me.
um, I don't have a window.
No.
A same old thing is gonna go into the Maker's Eye. That is good.
Yeah,
that is the
that's
same old thing gone.
That's a deep R&D, but I really feel like there are agendas in there.
Yeah, you're probably right. 2 Yaguros is annoying. And now I'm hoping, like, if I could get lucky and get the Levy out of hand with one of those tokens
Maybe.
for the House of Knives.
Maybe. That would slow me down a little bit, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm double crowbarring using Clone Chip, which
Right.
cost me 3 cards total. It feels so good.
It's a lot. And another card draw through that. So I think you drew 4, 5 cards, maybe just running a server.
Right. I haven't even seen these cards. You're actually seeing
Yeah,
these cards
I'm
before
the
I
first
am.
one. We're
Yeah.
gonna go through it, and I see both a same old thing and
Levy.
Levy.
Of course,
And you
you
know
get
what?
rid
I
of
should
them.
have done the other way. I really should have
I-
done the other way.
Kind of agree with that.
Yeah, because you can just install
Ooh,
the same old
shock.
thing, but you cannot install the Levy. You have to use it. So that is probably a big misplay. If I get the same old thing here, it's gonna be huge.
Oh,
It's gonna
Willie,
be absolutely
ladies
huge.
and no.
Special order. Close enough. We are getting another.
Oof.
This is game point.
It's a game point with a side game.
A side game.
What do I think? I think I'm going to get bet 0 here.
I'd probably go 2. Knowing me. Ooh,
Ooh, I misjudged
nice.
myself. I'd be a
Excellent.
good opponent
So
for
did I.
myself.
Yeah, the perfect. And you're getting another Jackson. That is pretty rough considering you now know there's an agenda in my hand and I
Right.
have no place to put it. If you don't install the same old thing, we have you, but nope, you put that on the table. Very smart. Otherwise, I think I would have just neural EMP'd you out and probably
just
done
hoped.
a lot of damage.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you never mind hoping. You could have.
I could have
foreseen
just done
and
it. Yeah, exactly. So that is unfortunate. I do have another shock in hand. Did you trash the other shock? I think you did.
I did trash one.
I think
shot
you have the
through
kind of money
access.
to do that. Third piece of ice going up. I am getting lucky that none of this ice is worth crescendusing.
Right, that's a good point. That is
Yep.
so positive.
Yeah, well,
That's such a sunny outlook on life.
oh man,
I don't have ice good enough for Patrick to crescentus.
I don't tilt. That's the thing. You just think of the good stuff.
Right, you just get your smile gets wider and wider
Yeah.
until your opponent goes mad.
It gets really concerning. I threw something into that remote. I'm assuming it is the shock, but it looks like I might actually have a window to score something. You are going to same
Right.
old thing that levy.
I think it's because I don't think that's an agenda. And
Yeah.
I feel like this is my
Smart
window.
enough, because you know I do have that 3-pointer in hand, and that would be install advance. With 8 credits, there's not that much in that server that could be substantial to keep you out.
Right.
Um,
And I'd love to see a Merlin at this point as well.
yeah, and I don't think I'd res one if I could. Oh, I'm gonna cut your deck.
Now you sitting next to you now, watching the smile on your face. This
Man, everyone, I don't know. Okay. So are you gonna go for that server? I don't know. You do have a fall guy. You can actually leave that there and draw it maybe at the beginning of your next turn. You could use it as damage prevention.
Mhm.
And you're gonna get some money up. If that is an agenda,
It will hurt, but
but it won't. You're at 4 points, and you know you just have to get that one agenda in hand. Do you know if you run a sneak door?
I don't think I have a sneak door.
Okay, interesting. I guess that does hurt the Overmind's late game.
Right, the Overmind is a big part of my strategy, so it's not something I want to consider.
An upgrade does go into R&D. I think we can both be pretty sure or pretty scared for that to be a Marcus baddie, which would do only 2 net damage.
Right, it wouldn't do too much right now. The
Yeah.
Crescentises are kind of keeping me alive in that sense.
Hey, that's pretty good. Okay, well, it's not the end of the world. Maybe I could put the top card of my R&D to the bottom. Yeah, I don't know, I guess. But that card is going to be hanging out there in that server. It looks like you're not going to bite. And another clone chip goes out. And Boxy. Hey, that's your
Boxy.
console.
Yep.
One of, maybe? Two
Yeah,
of?
just a one of. Just for the extra MU for Overmind's sake.
Okay.
Which, of course, is scary.
Hey,
I'm...
Cortex Lock got better.
Yeah. An extra hand size because I do end up drawing a huge hand every other turn.
Yeah, right.
And I don't want to have to discard. So
that's true. That is very true.
But I'm looking forward to some upcoming criminal cards that I don't know if we talk about on this.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't spoil anything. I guess I don't know what the Metropole policy is on that.
We'll just reflect on it.
Yeah, we'll reflect. It looks like you're not running on that server. I'm just doing some housekeeping of sorts. It looks like I did not like that back ice. It might actually be a Merlin, which I decide is
not even worth it.
Yeah, it's not really financially feasible. But we do have a 3 ice server, which is going to cost me money if you do want to go check.
I do have to look for my rig again, though. It's been shuffled into my deck. I need my crowbars, I need my shivs. I don't know where they are at this point.
And the only way for you to draw really hard is to actually disassemble parts of your rig.
Right.
Which is interesting. Looks like you found something on the way that you've moved that Overmind part.
I give myself away. The mind games.
You do. I guess it doesn't matter.
At least it's all on my turn.
Yeah, if it's on your turn, it doesn't matter. But I trying to put a conscious effort into not doing that because I've seen some of the games, the replays of how much I can actually telegraph by just hand movement.
Yeah.
It's actually pretty substantial. We have to do some math.
I'm putting on Overmind, which might be a bad decision.
I don't think your MU is going to get bigger than that. So it's not the worst. Yeah, with Boxy, it's pretty good. I actually, with these tokens that I purchased, I got these little MU tokens.
Yeah.
So like you put 4 in front of you and you shuffle them around.
That makes sense. It is like a resource for the
runner. I didn't find it that useful. I never, like, when I was playing, I just kind of forgot about them. It's kind of more useful with decks like this, I suppose, but I don't think they're that practical.
Right.
So that gets 3 tokens on it. So now you have 5 subroutines that you can break of anything. Do you include an E3 in this deck?
Yes, as another one of.
Oh, cool. Okay. We didn't see that, I don't think.
Nope.
I don't think we see it, but that's good.
I try to play it before that first levy if possible, but
yeah, right.
I just didn't get to it, I guess.
No, I really like that card. Even I've been playing a lot of Faust. I think it's pretty good.
Oh, of course, it's great in Faust.
I do find Jackson Howard, which is good. I have 2 agendas in my hand. I know you know that the game point is in there with the Future Perfect.
That's right.
There might be something else in there, a House of Knives perhaps, perhaps even another Future Perfect. And with the Jackson Howard, which you don't know that it is a Jackson Howard, I can overdraw and bin some stuff.
True, because you're just drawing 1 per click right now. So
yeah, I'm not Jackson drawing.
You are not telling me it's a Jackson.
Yes. I do like doing that.
Yep, it's a good play. I like that too.
I think you might be scared of the shocks, so you're not running archives, but we do have another Maker's Eye, and that is a relatively taxing server, all things said.
Right. It's going to take up a lot of my Overmind tokens.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I guess you can do Overmind tokens. That's it. That's your only option.
No, and Yugura is only 0 strength, so...
Yeah. Are we rewinding? I think we're rewinding.
I think we might be. Do you have a cool rewinding graphic to go with this?
Yeah. I'll just put it up like Pat reconsiders. Looks like, oh yeah, I guess that is much more reasonable if you want a special order for that. Yep. Low stakes games, right? Am I right?
Right.
So I have no doubt that the Maker's Eye is going to come out after that. You know what? I don't mind too much that... Oh, did you see that cut? I don't mind too much.
It was a great cut.
On the rewind, because you just kind of gave me information. But we're going to go fly through those 2 Yaguras using the counters. Not a big R&D left. I think you're considering whether or not you should actually break the one that puts on the bottom. I might have like maybe less than 10 cards in there.
Right, because at this point, putting things on the bottom not going to matter very much.
No, not too much.
I think I'm only breaking 1 per Yagura, looks like.
And even if I do ditch an agenda on the bottom, that's putting me further away from winning the game. on agenda points.
That's right.
And I think you're going to win on a long game.
And this long game is coming close to an end. If you really do only have 10 in there. Of course, it's Marcus Batty.
Of course, Marcus Batty.
My terrified shaking hand. I must be really fun to play against.
So that Marcus Batty is going to fire after you do break the Cortex lock. We are going to play a side game. This can do some damage. I think it's going to do, if it fires, like 3 damage. Ooh, I invest in that. We are going to get some zapped. Yeah, I want to make sure that is 3. So you have 4, 5, 6. So one of them is chosen. The other 2 are random. I could have some knives here. I will. So your whole hand is gone.
Very nice.
I don't know how many clicks you have left, but...
And now, do I even want to... I mean, I guess I...
Yeah, because if you hit a snare, it's game over.
Yeah, a snare or a shock, which I know you have some of.
Yep. You're going to clone chip up to draw a card.
Oh, right. I forgot. I am not totally dumb.
No. You do have 2 clone chips, or 1 left, more accurately. Still, if you do hit a shock, it's probably game. I think it's definitely game if you hit a shock.
That's right.
And you are going to be accessing 3 cards, even a shock, into something like a fetal AI.
Mm-hmm.
A fetal AI could do it.
But I don't think you have it. I don't think it's the fetal AI kind of deck.
Yeah. Well, probably not, no. You're asking to see it in my archives so you can make a decision. You haven't seen any shocks.
I saw 1 shock in archives.
You're accessing with 1 card. Crazy. Hokusai Grid gets the trash. You don't want that. Oh.
That's 1 agenda, brings me to 6 points.
And a Merlin, Lancelot, you're right. I am holding on. And you have to draw up 1 card.
Even then, even if I drew up 1 card or not, I could...
I don't know. I might have discarded an early MP. I'm not sure.
That might have been wise at this point, thinking that you couldn't possibly win with it.
Yeah. I don't think I could have won with it, but at that point, I could have done a lot of damage at least.
Right.
Maybe even opened a really small window. Looks like a Jackson back in. I think that was another Jackson, a Batty perhaps, and a face down card. I'm doing this, I think, before mandatory draw, just because I really want to find that Jackson off the top, because that's the only way to make my R&D have more of the things I want.
Yep.
Oh, I'm offering a cut.
And in the end, it was totally worth it for me not to spend money on the Yagura's first subroutine.
Yeah, totally. I agree. Looks like we got another upgrade there. Could be another baddie. Could be 3 more net damage and take some money. That's the problem. We're at a game point where if you just sat back and did nothing, I don't know if the corporation can win.
Right. This is sort of like my scoring window because you have nothing being developed right now. You could instant score a medical breakthrough maybe.
Yes, that would be really good. I am digging for that actually. I have no doubt. But I do put something in that remote. You might want to check that, but you are on game point, and as long as you don't misstep, you are going to stay on game point, even if I score 1 or 2 agendas.
I think at this point in the game, I'm almost frustrated.
Oh, no
I'm maybe a bit petulant that I haven't won yet. I'm like a spoiled brat at this point, wondering why I have not won yet.
Yeah. Crowbar coming back out. You're borrowing my crowbars for this game, aren't you? Yeah, I can tell.
Is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can tell.
Yep.
They have your fingerprints on them.
Yep.
I borrowed yours, then I borrowed John's, then I borrowed my friend Nick's crowbars at another point.
Okay.
I just I'm a borrower.
So we have a legwork. Let's see what that ice is. That is a Galahad. That is the first Grail ice all game.
Yep. Good Grail deck.
9 influence.
Good Grail deck.
9 influence for that one Galahad there. I got to show you 3 subs, which again is ideal against a break and enter suite because they break 3 subroutines a piece.
Right. It's good against a lady, but break and enter is exactly suited to deal with it.
Yeah. The dogs are pretty bad against it too. Oh yeah, I guess lady. And you're gonna pay through the rest of that. I think you click through the Eli. You're gonna see 3 cards. Could be game.
Not yet.
Not yet. An early MP. And we're safe. Excellent. So you now know 3 cards in hand.
That's right.
I think 4 because I showed it in 2 Grail.
Right.
So
didn't I see 2 Grail on my access? It's been 3 seconds and I've already forgotten.
Yeah, I don't remember it entirely. Okay, so HQ is clear, I think.
Maybe.
The game's in R&D.
It probably is in R&D, and R&D is getting real small.
Yeah, we have an upgrade there. I'm going to install, take some money. Might be a Jackson.
I feel like at this point I should just wait it out.
I don't think you have a reason to run.
Right.
Because if it's a medical breakthrough, I'm going to score that out of hand. You have
Yep.
no way to stop that.
And that's not going to bother me anyway,
If it is the 3-pointer, I could put it there, but it'll be obvious once I start advancing it.
right? And I'm sure I can get into that server anyway.
Yes, definitely. Kind of backed into a corner here. Check archives actually is probably a reasonable route.
Right?
You take some net damage, but you do have a hand size of 7 in theory.
Right.
And there's only 3 cards left, so you are going
I'm.
you're gonna Maker's Eye the entire deck.
This is that broken card they wanted to ban, where you just look at the
Yeah,
opponent's
the
entire
entire deck.
R&D.
Yeah, yeah.
It seems very unfair.
And now half of those Yagura subroutines do not matter
Right?
because who cares? Looks like we're gonna clone chip through them anyways and
Yep,
break
just
them.
because.
I am gonna hit you with. Oh, actually, I'm not. I
Maybe
think
you're not?
I did that too soon because you have to break the core deck lock. Yeah, sorry, I got ahead of myself.
Yeah, and I think we yelled angrily at each other. I'm glad you don't have
What
that
are you
audio.
doing? Yeah.
There were some harsh words.
And I really like this card because you can wait to res once they say access. You ask them,
Right.
"Do you want to access?" and you res it. You are holding too many cards for this to matter.
Yep.
That's a shiv. You're gonna see my entire R&D. 3 cards left. One of them must be an agenda. Neural EMP.
And that's
And
it.
the third medical breakthrough, and that
No, that was
is
a Jackson.
game. Last one was
Yeah.
Jackson. That's what I was looking for.
That was a slog of a game.
Yeah.
I think we had a lot of fun with it.
Oh, I did actually have a lot of fun. I was backed up against the wall even with all that siphon stuff.
Right. I felt like it was in control the whole game, and I just could not convert that into a win.
Very much so. So I think the big difference maybe between your deck and Scott's is you do the multi-axis, and I think multi-axis you might need
That's a huge focus of this deck for sure.
Yeah.
Because I can't make as many runs as other runners can.
right.
I lose my rig, so I feel like the multi-axis is so important. I need
Got
to
it.
make every run count.
Make them count. And I'm going to try out Geist now with that Overmind. I think that is
Cool. Thank you
awesome.
very much.
It lands the siphons, the really important turn 1, turn 5 siphons.
Yep. And I'm totally building a Chronos Protocol Grail deck as well.
Oh, cool.
Absolutely.
Excellent. Well, hey, thanks so much for tuning in. The second game of this match is really cool. We switch sides. It is Harpsichord versus Laramie, which is a really fun matchup.
There it is.
Yeah. Hopefully you tune in. Thanks for watching.
Bye, guys.
Ciao.